Gaudy stats. Good God, that's gaudy. Welcome to Gaudy Stats
with Ben Simmons.
What's on the menu, Benny boy?
Well, the Dolphins, helmed by the mighty Ryan FitzMagic, went into Foxborough and defeated the vaunted New England Patriots. With that defeat, they no longer have a first-round bye that everyone assumed they would have. And instead, the Titans, with Vrabel, Pat's coaching tree, former Pats player Mike Vrabel, will be coming into Foxborough with A.J. Brown and seeing if they can knock off the Patriots on the road. Can't wait to see what happens, but when that happened, even before that happened, I wanted to talk to the Kempster. But when that happened, I had to talk to Kemp. And he was saying he was furious. He wanted to unload on the Patriots. I wanted to give him a forum to do that because I'm not a Patriots hater. I appreciate the finer aspects of their offenses through the years and all that. I mean, I enjoy the stats they produce. I respect Belichick, but when they lose, I can't help but laugh. But no, honestly, the playoffs are shaping up to be really interesting. The Ravens get a bye, Chiefs get a bye. My Niners had a great win over the Seahawks last night. They're going to be these playoffs are going to be really interesting. Some great stats are going to be produced. Can't wait. I think the Patriots are going to win. They're going to beat the Titans, in my opinion. Anyways, so Kemp and I we discussed all this and more. Brady's legacy, Pats next year. Where are they going to go from here? Especially if Brady leaves, which it seems like he's going to. A lot to talk about. So let's get right to it.
Patriots, though.
Yeah, man. Well, it sucks that you got a cold too. Where'd you get that from your kids?
Oh, of course. Fucking cesspool, man. It's just like they're just breathing in germs. Like Claire, my niece, turns around and she's like, Uncle Chris, and I'm like, yeah, what? Oh shit! You could? Whoa. She did something like that. Where just coughed right in my face.
Oh,
so
God.
I'm sure that probably had something to do with it too.
Oh,
and I feel
buddy.
like she did it on purpose, but I can't be certain.
You should corner her at the next family get together. Be like, hey, come here for a second. Hey, did you fucking cough in my face? Try to give me
Here, I gotta tell you something.
take it really personally with a kid. Like,
Yeah.
start talking to them like they're trying to like ruin your life. Like,
Yeah, no, I mean,
I've seen the way you look at me. I've seen the way I know you're scheming against me. It's like this little girl looking up at you.
It's
Like,
nice. It's nice with the kids because you can I can act their age and just be so immature with them. It's great.
I saw a dad doing that on an airplane. He was like playing keep away with his kid. He was like, and the kid was like crying and trying to grab his computer, and the dad was like holding it just over his reach.
Yeah, and man,
He's like laughing at him.
It's fun to fuck with your kids, man. I'm not gonna lie, it is gratifying. But with Claire, my niece, like, man, she cries over everything, and it's so funny to watch. To get her to cry because she's so dramatic. She can cry on demand. Like she can create tears. Oh man,
Sounds
she's
like Tom Brady.
Oh man, yeah, Tom Brady, my brother from another mother. Why is that keeping going off? I don't know what the deal is. My
no, you're good.
Too on?
No, you're fine. It's just a little bit of a squeak, but it's all good.
All right,
but you sound good.
I don't know why I'm getting too close to, but
loud.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that goes with the territory with me. I am a loud guy. I am a Kemp. I got pride. I wake up, I look at myself in the mirror, and I say, I'm don't want to be braggadocious, but I'm better than you. And yet I
Wow.
watched this game on Sunday, and
Just
it was
gutted you.
embarrassing. And I was gutted, literally gutted yesterday. Um,
They
I,
hadn't lost like what was it? They hadn't lost a home game when they were favored
yeah,
since 2009, 2010, something like that.
they haven't lost. I'm trying to think of the last. Yeah, like the last home game that was a division game. I
Yeah.
think was the last home game they lost. I believe was Nick Saban when he was coaching the Dolphins and did the
Wow.
Wildcat.
Oh yeah.
Like just told like I thought, what was that? Like 2008,
Us.
2007 maybe? Like it was so long ago. I want to say it was 2008. I could be no,
I think
no.
yeah, I think you're in the ballpark
But
for
I
sure.
mean it's yeah, no. I think I think it's like 2007 or 6. But anyways, but yeah, it's been like these stats that of domination for the Patriots. Really, when you look
Mhm.
back at them, are going to be incredible. Like to not have a
Yeah. Oh
loss
yeah.
for that long, but to see them now, I mean, that was the most surprising loss that I can remember in Tom Brady's career. Like a part of me was kind of, I wasn't putting this down as a gimme game the way I was like
Mhm.
earlier in the season, but
Got the Flores, yeah.
yeah, I mean, but I wasn't thinking that this was going to be uh, like they were going to win. New England's going to win. It might be a tough one, but they're going to win. It's a division game, but come on, the
Mm.
fact that they lost the way that they did, like I can't remember a more surprising loss than. I mean, you have to go
Well,
back.
it
Like
it was the
I
biggest
would be.
upset it was the biggest upset overall in the NFL since 1995. Washington was favored 17.5 over Dallas.
I mean, well, how
So,
much? How
the
how
last
much were
30
they
years.
favored by? Yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
Patriots? Patriots were
yeah.
favored 17.5 over
Are you
Miami.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Wow. Man,
insane.
that is insane. That's Jesus Christ, because that's a totally different team than the team they played earlier in the season when Josh Rosen was the quarterback. Like
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, which can we take a detour and talk about Fitzpatrick real fast
Of
before I
course.
go off on my rant on the New England Patriots? And I want to get on my rant on the Patriots because I'm pissed.
Oh,
I'm
I wanna
heated.
hear it. I
I,
wanna
I'm
hear it.
like I feel like I'm like Coach Kilmer in Varsity Blues, you know? Like
I
just
don't want your life.
hey,
Or what does he
oh,
say?
I hope you had a good time. Like they were coming out of the stripper parties, and then I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a fucking good time. Great, this is just great. Get the fuck out of my locker room.
Is that John Voight?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
John
The
Voight.
you know, newly just paranoid out of his mind frame that
Yeah.
Donald Trump
Oh
keeps
god.
quoting. Um,
He's lost it. Voight has
oh
lost it,
man,
but
he's
that's
such
a
a good, he
whole
was
other
such a good
podcast.
actor.
I know.
Yeah, there's
And
something, like,
and
Deliverance.
Heat
Oh
and
god.
Heat. Oh, he was great in Deliverance. And he's such a weird character in that movie Heat.
Uh,
He has like this he has long hair and he's really creepy. But anyways,
yeah, but yeah, but like, um, Fitzpatrick, real quick. Fitzpatrick. Let's. Can we just stop on him really quickly?
of course. Yeah.
Is he not the most? Because I was thinking about this. Is there not a more exciting? Is there a more exciting player, quarterback in the league? Like Fitzpatrick is right up there, which is amazing.
Jameis is up there, but yeah. No,
But Jameis
Fitzpatrick's
is up there in like the wrong
definitely up
way.
there.
So Jameis is up there because he like does 5 picks and 5 TDs,
No,
Like
it's true.
yeah,
Fitzpatrick kind of has this like
he's
devil
got his
may
moments. I'm
care
not gonna
attitude.
he does have his moments. But when he's on his game,
Yeah.
like he can go toe to toe with anybody, which I think like for a journeyman QB,
Yeah.
like he's been like
He's running
he's got some of
around.
these stats. Some of these stats are amazing with
4 rushing touchdowns this year.
He is the only. I was reading this stat. I think he's the only person in NFL history to have touchdowns with 9 different teams.
Wow.
Yeah, like or 8 or 9 different teams. However many teams he's been on, like he averages a new team every 2 years.
I mean, I'm looking at his TD interception ratio here. He's thrown 210 for his career in terms of TDs and 100 and only 161 interceptions. So he's thrown more touchdowns than interceptions. Like, and he has an 81 quarterback rating, which is like, okay.
I mean, it's good. It's solid. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah,
That's
he's
gonna
been
be
a
like,
pretty good quarterback his whole career. I mean, he's 55 and 83 record, but he's usually been thrown in there as a backup with with bad teams, and
like I'll be honest. I mean,
he's done the best he can with what he has.
I think he's kind of backdooring himself into the gaudy stats wall of fame.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for
because
sure.
like he it's just important. In some of his throws, like he's an exciting guy, quarterback to watch play.
Definitely, yeah. Like that,
And he knows how to. He's smart enough to know. He knows how to knows when the pocket's collapsing. He knows when he has to get the ball out. He doesn't panic. He's kind of got a because he's a big guy and he's kind of got a little bit of Ben Roethlisberger. I feel to him in the way he kind of escapes out of almost certain sacks that he's able to like escape out of it and then still throw a bomb for a catch. And I just. FitzMagic had me worried going in, and to see what he did to that defense, it was hats off to him. So, but with that being said, Ben, let me put my hand on the fucking table and say that defense, that New England defense, put on a piss poor showing yesterday. Awful. Bill Belichick, you fucking suck yesterday. You did suck yesterday. I think they were out coached. They were out prepared after all week talking about how they were going to treat this game as a fucking playoff game. And they were going to go all out and show them what they got so that they could get the bye. And they got out prepared, outclassed, out coached. They were outplayed. And it was like to the Miami fucking Dolphins. Are you fucking serious?
At home.
Like
the vaunted home field advantage.
And here's the thing. You've got Josh McDaniels. I mean, he's still scheming up trick plays. And I've kind of gotten to the point where, you know what? I don't blame Josh McDaniels for doing this anymore because that's the only way that they can get points on the board is doing trick plays. And the fact that because I guarantee you, they had that play, that play that they were going to throw to Landon Roberts, the fullback, that he was left wide open because nobody was guarding. It was a trick play. That he held that in his pocket to use for the playoffs, and that he had to use it for Miami of all teams. That he had to use that play, he had to break that out for Miami just in order to get points? Are you fucking serious? Like, Brady has not had the best year, but he hasn't had a bad year. I am adamant in saying that he has not had a bad year this year. He doesn't have anybody around him.
Yeah, it's true. He really could use Antonio Brown right now.
Yeah, I mean, like the beginning of the year when they had Josh Gordon, Edelman, and Antonio Brown, I mean, they were clicking. They destroyed the Steelers. And granted, the Steelers then is not the Steelers at the end of the year. I mean, well, they did have Roethlisberger, so there is that. I mean,
Brady had probably his best statistical game that game, 340 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And so and some of it is just like the luck of the NFL. Like, injuries happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they've been really unfortunate with injuries this year. But they've also, like, Bill Belichick, the GM, is killing Bill Belichick, the coach. Yeah, I think he's done a shit job as a GM lately.
What about the defense, though? The defense is stacked.
But they did that at the expense of the offense. Yeah. Because they what Bill Belichick has done is when they were cutting down to the 53 players like Shalik Calhoun, who I really like. He's a good player, but he was on that edge. It was like either him or or an extra wide receiver, like a Demaryius Thomas, who they cut and then re-signed and then traded like 2 days later. I mean, but in any event, like he went all in on his defense. Bill Belichick did this year as far as organizing his team at the expense of the offense. And I mean, granted, he drafted a wide receiver in the first round. I get that, but it had to put him on IR. Tried to go for Antonio Brown, but that ended up being a shit move. That cost New England from getting anybody else because they were up against the cap limit, and then they just spent $5 million guaranteed on Antonio Brown. And what do you can't go out and just pick up a guy that trade right there impacted their ability to get Emmanuel Sanders.
It was high risk. It's true. They could really use Emmanuel Sanders right now.
But Emmanuel Sanders, yes, would be the better player now. But this is his only year, and he was like 16 million against the cap, something crazy like that. I forget what the exact number.
I think actually it was worth the risk to go after Antonio. I mean, hindsight now, it's like, oh yeah, obviously he shouldn't have, but I personally think it was worth the risk.
I mean, I'm kind of torn about it, but like, if you're Bill Belichick and you're who plays his cards close to his vest, cautious about these things, like why are you that guy is a fucking spark plug. Like he is going to go off at any second. You knew the end result of where his season was going was going to be him, getting kicked off the team. I mean,
the crazy thing is, like, he wouldn't have gotten kicked off if he hadn't like gone after.
If he just shut his
woman.
mouth. If he just fucking shut his mouth.
Yeah, like so.
God, seriously, good Lord.
Isn't that crazy? Like, if he just had shut up, he would have. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy to think about.
But then on top of that, then they cut Josh Gordon for whatever reason. Like, what were you cutting Josh Gordon for? But again, then he got suspended.
Yeah,
again, so maybe
I think they probably found something, but something happened. Probably. Yeah,
but it's so. But Bill Belichick, the bottom line is that Bill Belichick has had no option outside of Rob Gronkowski. He didn't fill that hole, which is a huge blunder on his. Like, how are you not drafting a tight end?
Jacob Hollister was on the practice squad last year,
and he traded him. They traded him to Seattle for like a conditional sixth or something like that, like for nothing, for peanuts. All right, and you're not oh man. Bill Belichick, the GM, needs to get his shit together. There were Dawson Knox for the Bills, like it lasted until the fourth round. Instead, you're drafting Damian Harris, the running back, who hasn't even seen the field this year. I mean, are you fucking serious?
Oh God, they could really use Dawson Knox.
I know, right?
Damn. But like, it's like a good Gronk replacement.
They needed that. They needed a Gronk replacement. They don't even address it in the draft. They don't address their right tackle, Trent Brown, who went to Oakland. They don't address that, or left tackle, excuse me. They don't address that. So they've just got a revolving door of terrible left tackles, because I could go on and on about Bill Belichick. But
go on and on. I mean, get it off your chest.
He coached awful yesterday. I mean, at the end of the half yesterday, you're taking a knee with like a minute 30 left to go. Like, that's a Doug Marrone move. That's Jacksonville Jaguars shit. Get out of here. Play with some heart.
Yeah, Shanahan was doing that too.
You got 3 timeouts left with a minute 30, and you just kneel on the goddamn ball. God, Bill Belichick, like he doesn't trust his offense, and like he doesn't trust Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady didn't have the best day yesterday, but like God, then trust your defense. So he puts all his trust in his defense. And what does his defense do? This all stud, all pro defense comes out and can't stop Ryan Fitzpatrick, can't stop Miami when it matters. And you want to call yourself an elite defense? Fuck out of here.
And Devontae
I
Parker.
thought it was. I mean, I thought it was.
Gilmore.
It was awful. I thought it was awful what they did.
Yeah,
I mean, to beat Peyton Manning's record and to get to have that happen on that day. I mean, it was, oh God, man. And you lose the bye because of it. You lose the playoff bye. So now they're going to have to go. They're the one team. I mean, every team needs a bye, but the Patriots are hurt. Julian Edelman was on a pitch count.
Yeah, he looks hurt.
He was on a pitch count. I mean, that didn't help him at all. But now they have to go in. They're playing at home, which as yesterday's show, doesn't really matter too much. But now they got to play at home against Tennessee, who I've been telling Sam.
Hot team,
dude. Oh man, I've been telling Sam, and I'm going to tell Sam right now that he still owes me this apology, because we've been going back and forth on Mike Vrabel, and I've been saying it from the jump that Mike Vrabel is, if Bill Belichick retired tomorrow, Mike Vrabel's the coach I'm trying to get to come to New England. I love him. He's a player's coach. He knows what he's doing.
I think you more than love him. I think you look up to him as a father.
He's a good guy, and he's got that scrappy, haven't shaved in a couple days look to him. I mean,
I think he's a good coach. I honestly do think he's a good coach. But where do your allegiances lie? Belichick or Vrabel? Who do you want to win this game?
Well, I mean, obviously we want the master to win, but man, he doesn't, and that's another thing, man. He doesn't do good. Bill Belichick doesn't do good against his former
pupils,
understudies. Yeah, they have a fairly good record against them.
It's true. Mangini, remember Mangini used to always.
I mean, and
the Manginius.
Matt Patricia beat him. And Matt Patricia did beat him, but
Flores,
Josh McDaniels beat him in Denver. He's not the greatest against teams that are coached by
Titans' defense is solid too,
and their whole team's solid. And AJ Brown is ridiculous. Oh God, man.
Brown.
Dude, he is sick. He is. I had him. I had him rated as the number one wide receiver coming out of the draft. And
you did?
Yeah. No, coming into the draft. I mean, I had him as the top wide receiver. But of course, in my dynasty team,
did you publish that somewhere? Because I don't.
Sam Abramson's got the text.
He's got the proof. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But then he got drafted by Tennessee. So I'm like, and I'm still kind of a Corey Davis fan. I still like Corey Davis. I think he's a good
not
player.
bad.
But the fact that AJ Brown just so coming into the season, I'm like, well, Corey Davis, I think year 3, I kind of had him as a potential breakout candidate. And I'm like, well, he's going to have to, he's going to be the number 2 in that offense, so I didn't pull the trigger on him when I should have in my dynasty league, and I picked Paris Campbell because I had him number 2, and I'm like, man, he's going to go with Andrew Luck and the Colts. Oh my God! Of course,
well, it probably wasn't a bad choice, honestly. I mean, if you had known Andrew Luck was going to retire,
I know. My calculus would have been different, but I had AJ Brown, and he, man, God, the way he has just established himself as the alpha there in Tennessee has been. I mean, I expected it to happen at some point, but not this quickly.
And I must admit that the switch from Mariota to Tannehill has been really beneficial for him.
That's been beneficial for the whole team, which is amazing. I mean,
it's crazy.
Mariota had some of those years, some of those games, like in his first or second year, where you're just like, man, oh God, I can't wait to look. Him next year is going to be incredible. Oh, God, he looked like he was on the path to greatness.
I think he just needs to change the scenery, and even then he might still suck. But
Yeah, I
I think
think it's
he's
over
worn out
for
his
him, man. Like
welcome. He's worn out his welcome in
yeah,
Tennessee for sure.
but then again, people like Ryan Tannehill that don't break
Yeah,
out until they're year 6 or
yeah. I
something.
mean, like, and I think nobody would have thought that Tannehill could come in and be really good. I mean, but he's looked great. He's looked, and
I
like,
mean, he's looked solid. He's looked solid. A good game manager. Like
yeah. I guess that's fair. Yeah,
he's a
solid.
solid game manager. Like he's not going to lose you the game. Which when you're that, which is kind of like Vrabel, Bill Belichick, like that whole family, that whole tree, that whole coaching tree mentality, is you want to start by building a team that doesn't lose games.
Mm,
So to have somebody that'll just be able to get the team to 21 points and
yeah,
have their defense do the rest is kind of the mantra there. But I think Tannehill's doing a great job. I think AJ Brown has really helped him. Jonnu Smith is coming alive, and I don't think the Patriots have the horses to match him. I really don't. You're not going if they could. Then Derrick Henry. Speaking of horses, Derrick Henry, beast.
oh my
The
god.
leading rusher for he's the leading rusher for this season, right?
Yeah, he got it. He got it at the end of the game. He had like a 50-yard run, TD
I
run
know, crazy,
to
right?
ice it. Yeah, man, he's been a beast. Great fantasy
I mean,
pick
he
by
really
Oswald.
again closing out the season. Just wow, because who was
I
I
think
talking to?
Oswald got
Maybe
him for $22.
I know. I remember Osborne's like for the first 3 weeks, he was like, "Oh, I can't believe I got him." Trying to trade him to me. Of course, I'm like, "Nah, I don't want him. I don't want him." So,
I should have traded Lev Bell to you, man. That was a dumb move by me. But oh well.
hey, pulling the trigger on trades is so hard. I mean,
But
that's why.
he wasn't bad though, Lev Bell. He just never was great. Like I
Yeah,
think his highest output was like 20 points fantasy,
yeah.
but
I mean,
he
it's just
rarely got below 10
it's
points
the
though.
fallacy of going with the bell cow simply because he's in a bell cow role.
Yeah.
They're not taking into account the fact that um, the Jets fucking suck.
Yeah, he had 3.2 yards per carry.
Uh, I mean, yeah,
But he got like
there's
24 touches a game.
there's some organizations that you're just like, God, I don't want to
No,
invest in that.
the Jets.
Especially when you get into dynasty like the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh God, do you really want to
Yeah.
throw your lot in with them, or the Redskins?
Yeah. It's true.
I would say,
Shit covered franchises.
yeah,
Everything they touch is shit.
yeah, Jacksonville, another one.
Oh
But
god. Yeah.
those are the sort of franchises where you're like, you, during draft day, you're like, oh man, Joe Mixon, let me grab him, And then you spend the rest of the year just like, oh God, why did I fucking draft this guy? Although he had a really good game yesterday, so I'll give
He
him
had a
props
great
there.
game.
Yeah.
Great game.
But it's hold on.
Oh, bless you. Bless you.
Oh God, sorry about that.
That's okay. Little snack for you.
Yeah, man. But I just think how this defense, or excuse me, the playoffs are going to work as far as the Patriots go. I don't see them getting past the wild card round. They're going to lose, and I'm not. I know reverse jinx. This is not a reverse jinx. I'm putting it down right now. They are going to lose
To the Texans?
No, to the Titans. They're playing the Titans, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. The Titans. My bad.
Yeah, they're playing. They
No, I knew they were playing
too.
I knew they were playing the Titans. I just said the wrong thing. Yeah.
I mean,
Vrabel.
the Patriots season this year has been. I mean, it's such a mirage because they're 12-4, awesome record, right? But like,
yeah. First 8 games.
They didn't beat any of the leader. So they lost to the Texans. They lost to the Ravens. They lost to the Chiefs. They lost to Miami. Good Lord, I cannot believe they lost to Miami. So I mean, they're kind of a paper tiger, and that defense isn't as good. I think the defense was great to start the year, but they've been figured out. Those zero man blitzes where they just come at you like they've teams have learned to respond to that, and they're not fast enough in the secondary with some of these speedsters like your Tyreeks, hell, your Corey Davises, your AJ Brown's
Brown.
quick. I mean,
So good in those deep balls, and like what Devontae Parker did to
Devontae Parker.
Gilmore.
Talk
There's
to
gonna be a
somebody
lot
with
of
a
that.
what is this? A 5th-year breakout?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, what
But,
do
like,
we do with
he's a
Devontae Parker next year?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, like
We don't even know who the quarterback's going to be.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's
FitzMagic?
if it's Fitzpatrick again. Yeah,
That would be
I
awesome.
mean, because he said like he wants to come back and play for the team with Tua. With Tua being hurt from Alabama, like he's not going to. I mean, I guess they could draft him.
The Patriots
keep
could
him
draft
up.
Tua. That's what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would, and pay to draft Tua, let him sit because he's not going to be ready next year. Keep Fitzpatrick on board. I think Devontae Parker is going to be gone. They're not.
Didn't they give him an extension? I think they
What?
gave him an extension.
Did they? I don't.
Devontae Parker. Yeah, I think they did.
Did they really?
I'm pretty sure they gave him an extension already.
This is his 5th-year option. Because
they gave him to a $40 million contract, 21.5 in guaranteed with an $8 million signing bonus. That was on December 14th.
Oh, so that just happened. Wow.
4-year deal.
Wow, man, that's actually a good price. If he keeps it up like this, man, he roasted Gilmore. Yeah. I mean, look what he did. Gilmore, this is God, fucking Patriots. This is another thing. Stephon Gilmore supposed to be the leading candidate for defensive player of the year and has a performance like that. Like real talk,
it doesn't look good.
I think yesterday
should probably give it to Bosa and the Niners instead
of being a defensive player in the year. And in any event, I think Aaron Donald is still, head and shoulders best defensive player. If you want to go that route, I mean, the guy's got what has he got? Like 14 sacks right now.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
he's got like 14 sacks, and this is a down year for him because he had 20 and a half last year.
It's funny, since we cut out defensive players from our fantasy setup, I don't even know defensive stats anymore. Like I have no idea who has a lot of sacks or tackles or anything.
I honestly think we should talk about bringing
IDPs
players back just to keep tabs on them.
Kind of fun.
And I like the one defensive tackle, one defensive back.
Yeah,
I like that better than the team defense personally. But I've got so many ways to tinker with it.
I like team defense though. It's I kind of like team defense personally.
I'll give you team defense, but we got to get rid of kickers, man.
Yeah, kickers are kind of annoying. We should add another flex. We should add like another wide receiver, tight end flex or something.
That's always the answer, Ben. Add another flex.
Oh God, I wish our whole lineup was flexes. It's nothing but flexes.
And
flex it all out.
Super flex. I mean, we really need to do a podcast on the
super flexes,
benefits of super flex.
I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth. Like now, I'm thinking maybe it isn't the best idea, just because like there's so many shitty quarterbacks. Like I don't know. We really want to have to roster them. Like watching Jacoby Brissett try to throw the ball is just really difficult. And
but Jacoby Brissett is still going to get points.
It's true. He still compiles stats. That's a good point. Like if you had like Fitzpatrick and like let's say you picked up Fitzpatrick and Ryan Tannehill in a 2-quarterback league, that'd be a hell of a duo there to finish the season.
Let's say because if you had a super flex, you'd be pushing the values of all the quarterbacks up. You could have a team that has, let's say, Patrick Mahomes and I don't know, Russell Wilson. But they're paying $60 for each, so they're not going to have. That's all so their whole team is 2 quarterbacks and hoping they hit on a random guy at running back and receiver. So it's like,
we should do like a test league. We should do a test league with Superflex and see what it's like.
See what stinks about that though is that I've a couple of years when I was I tried to do a test league with you guys with
oh, that's right.
And then like nobody signs up for it. Nobody follows it.
Nobody takes it seriously.
Yeah. There's got to be some like skin in the game.
Well, we could do like 1 year where like a pilot year where we just see what it's like, not committing to it for the rest, just like, okay, we're going to do it for this 1 year
Yeah.
and see what
Yeah.
it's like. And then we can discuss it, like just a 1 year contract, not like, oh, from now on, this is the way it's going to be. I'd
Yeah.
be
A
kind of
test
open to
year.
that, but I got to say, our format's pretty fun though. I don't
It
know.
is pretty fun. And you know what else? You know what else I was thinking? We need to get back to the fourth down stops.
I know. No, I'm with you on that.
We
I,
got fourth down. I don't know why that ever got taken out.
I don't
That
know.
was such,
I don't get it, man.
that's
Like
such a
it's
genius
such a great
proposal
thing.
by me. God, I was just thinking, and I'm like, oh God, oh, bing, a light bulb. And
Fourth down
somebody
stops for sure. Yeah, we got to do.
again,
There's
this was
something.
one of those. This was one of those decisions that was made unilaterally by a commissioner. Now, I am a commissioner of the people. I do what the people want. I do not do anything unilaterally, but
Working class hero, Kemp. Yeah,
yeah.
gotta love it.
But I mean,
So wait, do
but
you really think the Patriots are gonna lose to the Titans? Like seriously, like they're at. I mean,
honestly,
I know the Dolphins game just happened, but like just stop and just step back for a second. The Patriots are still gonna be at home. They still have a damn good defense. They're gonna be so motivated after that loss. I feel like they're gonna crush the Titans. I think they're gonna beat them like
man,
28-14. Not
I
crush, but
don't,
like they're gonna beat them soundly. I think.
I, I, I don't see it, man. I don't see it because like there is nothing, not in the last, let's say, month and a half, last 6 weeks. There's been nothing that makes me think, oh wow, yeah, that team that I saw there today, yeah, that team can win a playoff game. Yeah, they've
But
looked
they're
terrible.
proud though.
I went with my son to the Cincinnati Bengals Patriots game, and the Patriots they put up 34. That's
Yeah.
pretty good, but it's like how much of that was on their offense? They look bad. They look bad, and they put up
Yeah,
30.
their offense has looked kind of bad.
The Dolphin, that being said, I don't want to sound like a Brady honk because I'm not. I am down the middle on this. I will yell at Brady when he does bad. And he looked off. That interception that he threw yesterday was right up there as one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen from him throwing. I mean
Yeah.
I mean he looked at his target the entire fucking way. But like he doesn't trust anybody. He doesn't trust you can tell there's a rift there because with him and Bill Belichick because he's he immediately became friends with Demaryius Thomas this year, and they traded him. They cut him, and then they cut him. Promised they'd sign him back. Did, and then traded him like two days later.
Yeah, they really don't care what Brady thinks
Then they
about
signed
anything.
Antonio Brown, and then they cut him, and Brady's like, "Well, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're leaving me with nobody."
Yeah. It's
He
almost like they're trying to depress his value before he hits the open market or something. It's weird
I mean,
because he's going to be leaving. I mean,
I think
most
he is,
likely.
but I mean, there's going to be a market for Tom Brady.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean, I
it-
was looking at his stats. He threw only 60% completion, which was his lowest since 2013. But whatever. It's not that bad. He was 65 the year before, 66, 67. So he's been a little sharper in years past, but he was still threw for over 4,000 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. I don't know, man. I mean, he looked slower, just eye test, but like I'm not a scout or anything. I don't know.
I mean,
He's definitely going to go to another team and
a lot of
start.
throws high. I mean, he had a
Yeah.
bad game, but I mean, and what's weird is that the offensive line played well. I thought the offensive line played like he had time. I thought
Yeah.
special teams looked good. I mean,
Nikhil
those
Harry. Should they
games are-
involve Nikhil Harry more? Like what's or should I think
Yeah,
they
I
should
mean,
just make James White the full-time running back too, and so they can do a like two-way option instead of knowing whenever Sony Michel comes in the game they're going to run. It's like it's so obvious.
Well, they're trying not to, yeah, but they're also like trying to like Tom. There are plays where he's just looking at Julian Edelman, or he's just looking at James Wright, or he's just looking at one or the other and then throwing it away if he doesn't see it. Like he, for whatever reason, just doesn't trust his guys, his other rookie wide receivers, which is all he's got. So I don't know, and he doesn't have a tight end of any consequence. Like it's just been a depressing couple games, which makes me sound terrible because I like they're 12-4, but I don't.
But look at their record versus winning teams or like playoff teams this year.
It's not
I think
good, man,
it's not good, man. Like I'm
at all.
Like they lost they beat the Eagles by 7, close game. They lost by 17 to the Ravens. They lost to the Texans by 6. They narrowly beat the Cowboys of all teams. They lost at home to the Chiefs. So the Bills, they beat the Bills, at home. I think they're going to beat the Titans. I wouldn't get too down. It's a night game. It's going to be rocking. It's going to Brady's going to bring his best effort. Belichick, the team's going to be like foaming at the mouth to win this game. I think they're going to pull it out.
The only thing I will say is that this time last year, I was kind of saying the same thing. I was saying that they wouldn't beat. I didn't think they'd beat the Chargers.
They're so motivated right now. They're so fucking motivated.
But they don't have it. But this team is totally different than last year's team. Like it's offensively, it's a different team, and I don't think that they don't have an identity on offense. Tom Brady, they
don't have Gronk.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have. Yeah, and that changes a lot.
It's true. Even when he was not at 100% even last year, but still,
which makes it all the more maddening that they didn't draft a tight end. Because they
why didn't they go after like Jared Cook or somebody?
Well, okay, so that is on that's on Gronk actually, because they were waiting for Gronk to like, okay, are you coming back or are you not? And he was like, oh, give me a little bit, and they're like, well, we need to know an answer, and he told them that they were the New England, that he was going to retire, and so then they reached out to Jared, but by that time Cook had already signed had already like promised signing with the Saints, so. So Gronk kind of shot them in the leg. He didn't do us any favors, the Patriots. I mean, so, but still, that being said, at that point, like you have to make, plan Bs and plan Cs, and Bill Belichick isn't fucking doing it. So all this talk that I hear that Bill Belichick made Tom Brady is just like, you need to quiet that. Y'all need to dead that shit, because, that's not the case. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady
are. That's just Shannon Sharp. Oh no, wait, that's Shannon Sharp who says that. I haven't said anything.
No, well, the other partner in crime on here, Sam Abramson, he likes to talk a lot of junk about how Brady won the coaching lottery, and it's just not true. All right, Tom Brady didn't become, or Bill Belichick didn't become good until Tom Brady arrived and started a game. That's when Bill Belichick became good. So don't give me that.
I feel like they're kind of joined at the hip. They both have benefited each other. They both benefited each other.
He's a really good coach, but
why didn't Jeff Janis is sitting in his living room, just waiting for the phone to ring this whole season?
Man. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I like, honestly, I think Bill Belichick, in my opinion, I think Bill Belichick has kind of lost the ability to evaluate talent. God, that sucks.
Wow.
It takes a lot of nerve for me to say that.
It's crazy, man. You're saying you're really trashing Belichick.
His ability. But I also think that he's also become such like an icon, like cult status sort of person, especially in Foxborough, especially in coaching circles, that nobody is like wants to challenge him. He's gotten to this point where like all he's got are yes men, I feel. I think Josh McDaniels is the one person that can push back on him.
Well, I mean, he's done a lot of things right too. I mean,
gone after this year.
What's that?
I think Josh McDaniels, they're saying, might be gone to like Carolina, maybe.
Yeah, sought after head coach right now.
Which fine, that's I'm ready for him to bounce
I
too.
can't wait to see what the Patriots look like next year. Honestly, it's like I'm really excited.
I know it's
see
it's
what
going
they
to look
look
a
like.
lot different. I think it is going to even. Well, if Tom Brady's still there, it won't look that as different. But I don't think he's going to be there, man.
I don't think he is either, man. He's gone.
Seriously, hold on.
He sold his house.
Yeah, hold on, just 1 second.
No, it's cool. I'll just talk while
Hey.
you're off.
No, I'm on.
His trainer, his crazy guru trainer who like
I'll look it up afterwards. We can
who
finish.
injects him with like the blood of infants.
Conference call for work.
Sold his house too. So
Yeah, he. I think Brady. I feel like given his TB12 business that he's got going on there, and all this talk about him like, oh, I'm going to play till 45. I'm going to play till 45.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in his best business interest to show that, like, oh, hey, look, do my, plyometrics or whatever, and you can, play till 45 too, or whatever. It's like that's part of the selling, and if he can't, do it until 45, it kind of sends a bad message to what his business is. So I think he wants to still play. The Patriots don't want to pay a 42-year-old,
Yeah, and it's also cold there. Like, what old people go? They go to where it's warm, and he's got old bones, old joints. He's gonna either go down south or he's gonna go west.
He's and Giselle. You got to think about Giselle. So where's Giselle want to go? Giselle probably wants to go to New York,
LA.
or she could do Florida, I bet, or California.
People are saying he's going to the Chargers.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. That I mean, you bring McDaniels and Brady into Los Angeles.
Oh, so it'd be a duo. It'd be a package deal.
Yeah, I mean,
Anthony Lynn's a pretty good coach,
nice.
though, right?
I mean, because you got the Chargers, who's like the redheaded stepchild of Los Angeles. Nobody wants to go to their games. Every single game they go to, the other team has more people cheering.
It's true.
So
there's like 3 Chargers fans.
What a dumb decision.
It's so dumb. That city can barely have one team.
I know. It's just like
2 teams doesn't make any sense.
Oh God, it's just unadulterated greed right there. Just going after, where can I get the most bottom line? I can do it in LA.
It's blowing up in their face though, because they're not making any money.
It totally is. And that, like, the stadium that they're building is going over budget by like a lot. And they want, and in the negotiations for the new collective bargaining agreement, one of the proposals that the owners put in is that the players would help subsidize the cost of.
What? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I read that.
Dude, seriously?
Oh my God!
Like you want? Oh God!
It's nuts, man.
The hubris of these owners to they're like, I forget what
trying to tax the players.
Yeah, I forget what carrot they're trying to throw in to kind of
fucking
ameliorate any tensions, but that didn't fly over too well. Hold on.
So you think Brady's gonna play? You think Brady? Bless you. You think Brady's gonna play for 4 more years?
Yeah, I think if I had to rank it, I think it goes. He plays somewhere else. He retires. He comes back with the Patriots.
Wow, comes
No,
back.
actually, I would say he comes back. Because again, there's that whole I have to stay till 42, till 45. So maybe I'd put the Patriots second and retire third, because I don't think he's going to retire. But I don't think he's. I don't know, man. It's tough.
It seems like he's had enough. He's had enough of Belichick's like weird mind games and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him. I mean. Again, Belichick is one of those guys. Like I really think that he's trying to push Brady out
Yeah.
I mean, and this is all speculation. Who knows really? But like, I think he's trying to push Brady out so he can get his own guy and be like, hey, look, let me take my own guy. Because I think
Oh, you think he's trying to prove it? Well, he proved it with Matt Castle.
he didn't prove it with Matt Castle. Come on now.
I mean, kind of.
Matt Castle. Hey, look, Matt
went-
Castle got to a Pro Bowl with another team, so that means he's got talent there already.
Are you trying to say that Matt Castle is talented? Because I don't know,
Dude,
man.
we were just talking about Fitzpatrick.
Well, what if he goes after Fitzpatrick?
Well, no. I'm saying how many Pro Bowls has Ryan Fitzpatrick been to? I bet 0 is what I want to say.
Let's see. Yeah, 0.
Yeah, zero Pro Bowls. So Matt Castle has been to 1. All right, so like,
and Fitzpatrick only has 1 winning season.
I don't know, dude, and he's like one of the most
He
exciting
went,
players.
he went 10-16 though with the Jets. And he threw for 31 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 3,900 yards. It's pretty good.
He had Brandon Marshall. I mean, he had Brandon Marshall. He had Eric Decker. I
feel like Fitzpatrick, he's just been in so many situations and he's been with so many teams that like he knows how to. He's just really a smart quarterback at this stage in his career. He's old, obviously, but I feel like he's aging like a fine wine. Honestly, like if I had like a win now situation, if I was like a GM and like I would scoop him up and like another quarterback who's solid or something, like a good backup, and just kind of see like kind of roll with those two, because honestly, I feel like Fitzpatrick is. I mean, where would you rank him? I'm not trying to go crazy with the hyperbole, but where would you rank him in terms of quarterbacks in the league right now? I mean, quarterbacks are such they're like such high commodities now.
Yeah, they are, man. He's
valuable. He's a valuable asset.
He is valuable, dude. That's why I'm always like, man, just draft quarterbacks. Draft quarterbacks in the draft. Draft quarterbacks. You can trade them. That they're good chips. You can test them out in the preseason.
You got to give Belichick credit there.
You can trade them like
drafted Jimmy.
Build capital. Invest in quarterbacks, but
yeah, he drafted Jimmy. You got to give Belichick credit for drafting Jimmy.
I know, right? But here again, he give him credit, but then he shoots himself in the foot. Yeah. It is absolutely for sure. Cleveland was offering them a first-round pick, not because they had 2 first-round picks that year, but so it would have been their like 10th pick overall. Plus a like a second round the next year for Jimmy G, and Bill said no, and ended up trading them to the 49ers for a second. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I still remember when that thing the blurb came out on Roto World, and it's like, oh, Jimmy G traded for a second. I'm like, what? That's it? Seriously?
So I never totally understood that. So like they could have franchised him, right? And like. So would they they would have had to pay him a lot though, right? Like what was the figure?
But you can like the cap is crap. You can finagle the numbers to make it work to where everybody's down. You adjust contracts. Like you could have played with Tom Brady's contract to make sure that they got under the cap.
But Brady wouldn't have liked that though. I mean, he
probably but at the same time it would have been like, we're giving you all your money. Like it, I don't know if he would have cared, because it's like you're paying more guaranteed money down the road. You're just pushing it down the road for next year, so it counts for the following year. So it's just like you're just finagling with the numbers a little. So he's still getting the same amount of money. It's just back a little bit. So,
well, what are their quarterback? Let's say that Brady leaves, like we're talking about. Like, is there a quarterback they could draft, or one they could get grabbed in free agency, or who are you looking at like for the future?
So you got Jarrett Stidham there, the 4th rounder out of Auburn, who's their
I kind of ignored him after those 2 interceptions he threw in that game, in the Jets game. But he could be good. He could be good.
He was on fire in the preseason, so he looked really good in the preseason.
Yeah, he could be good.
But then he did terrible once the lights came on. So so you got Jarrett.
Small sample size though.
I mean, potentially you got Tua Tagovailoa. can never pronounce that dude's name, but
I just say Tua.
you know,
That's fine.
but now that he's injured, I mean, he might fall. I mean, there's an outside chance he might drop in
They
the
could
draft.
trade up too. They got a war chest of picks, don't they?
No, they traded us. They had a fairly good collection of picks, but then they traded one of them for a second. They traded a second for Mohamed Sanu, and that's really worked out.
Oh man,
Oh, dude,
that seemed a little odd even at the time.
oh, dude, the whole thing of Mohamed Sanu coming out. Oh man. So you guys talking Mohamed Sanu, great route runner, catches everything, never gets hurt. You know, and it's just you can play quarterback. He's an all around chess piece for anywhere. You know, so he doesn't get hurt. He catches everything. Blah blah blah. What does he do? He now since he's come to New England, he drops a lot of balls. He can't run the right routes, and he's injured. He's got a high ankle sprain he's been dealing with since the second week he got here. I mean, what the fuck?
He had that one game where he had like 10 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!"
I know, right? That I was trying to trade for him in my dynasty league, and I couldn't get there. But oh god, talk about you see that and you're like, oh man, he's just going to look his way the entire time. So I don't know what I want to feel that he's dealing with an injury.
Yeah, I think he might be injured. The ankle thing. That's why that bye would have been so important because heal up Edelman slightly, even though it sounds like he's going to need surgery. But
It's just like, is there anybody more cursed than my New England Patriots? Fucking awful. Their injury,
wow.
unbelievable.
Wow.
Like, we don't deserve this. We don't deserve this. Like, we've done everything the right way. Why are this is happening to us? This isn't fair.
Wow. Chicken's coming home to roost. That's what's happening.
I mean, what? No, it's not. It's just like, God, I cannot believe that this is happening.
Yeah, you can see the NFL death. Like the hooded skeleton. The
like,
NFL version of death is knocking on
it's
Belichick's door right now. Belichick's not answering. He's not answering the door, but it's wandering around the neighborhood.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come. But no, it's one of those things that they need to look for a new QB. I think Joe Burrow.
Stidham, Tua. Who else? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Joe Burrow, the QB for LSU.
Ooh.
I mean, he's a lock to go with Cincy, which is equal parts exciting because he's in Cincy and scary because he's in Cincy.
Well, this will be, this could be a lot of fun for you though, Kim, because you haven't really been presented with this kind of scenario in how long? I mean, 20 years.
Like
since you were like a wee lad.
I haven't dealt with adversity.
No, I mean like drafting a quarterback or like kind of rebuilding.
Yeah,
I mean like rebuilding. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, they were rebuilding in 2005. Like that was because the year after they won against the Philadelphia Eagles, Charlie Weiss left, Roman, God, what after the defensive coordinator left, and
the year where they went 12-4 after that,
they
were rebuilding that year.
They weren't that good. I didn't think they really got that good. They played Denver, I believe, because they didn't get a bye in the playoffs, so they had.
Did they lose to the Snake?
They lost to Denver, so yeah.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, I want to say, and it was a pretty bad. It was whatever the score was. It wasn't as close as what the score says. It was. That was kind of a rebuilding year, though. Hold on.
And the following year, they went 16-0.
It was also another rebuilding year.
Oh, and they went 10-6.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough year, man.
A backbreaker of the year.
God, after that year, they went on a crazy string of winning seasons: 14-2, 13-3, 12-4, 12-4, 12-4, 12-4, 11-1. I'm just looking through Brady's record right now. So
yeah.
It wasn't 11-1.
It's
13-3, 11-5, and this year 12-4. It's so much winning. It's fucking insane.
It is insane. Look,
Since
honestly,
2001, I'm looking at this is making me mad.
honestly, man, the amount of just records that this dynasty has just grabbed and taken hold of, and saying like nobody's ever going to touch these records is amazing. No, I guarantee you, there is no other team that will ever come close to winning, going to 9 conference championships in a row, like 9 conference in a row. That's incredible. 14. How is it? It's
Nuts.
11. Is this their 11th? What's it, or 12th? Hold on. So they would 2002, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 11th. This is their 11th straight division title. So like 11 straight. That I think the next best is like 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many stats that you can look on Twitter that'll show you like the difference between where New England ranks as far as a team metric in the last however many years. Do it in the last 3 years, last 5 years, last 10 years, 15, 20. Do whatever year you want to do. And there is a huge gap between New England and the rest of the field.
It's been unprecedented. It angers me as a like a, you know, I'm not a full on Patriots hater. I kind of appreciate them. You know, I make fun of Brady, but I acknowledge their greatness.
I mean, it is.
But it's fucking insane.
You bow down. You bend the knee to him, and I appreciate.
I do not. Hold on. I don't bend the knee. I mean, I'm a member of the 49ers kingdom, you know, where we have our own kingdom. I bend the knee there. I would never bend the knee. I respectfully acknowledge the Patriots' success. I'm an emissary.
We sent Jimmy Garoppolo out. He's warden. We'll call him Warden of the West. So he's looking after our territory because we just, you know,
the red and the gold. You know, that'd be a cool video, like make it like Game of Thrones, but the different. But it's just Game of Zones basketball. You've seen that Game of Zones on Bleacher Report. It's pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
But I'm looking at the bracket right now for the playoffs. So if New England beats Tennessee, like I think they will, and by the way, they're favored. It's a 43.5 over under, and they're favored by 5.5.
Ridiculous.
They're gonna have to go to Baltimore the following week.
No. They would go to Kansas City.
No, they go to Baltimore. I'm looking at it right now.
They would go to Kansas City, man.
I'm on CBS Sports postseason bracket.
No, because I'm telling you, man. So Baltimore plays the lowest remaining seed, and Kansas City plays the highest.
I see. Oh, my bad. So, well, right now I'm looking at the bracket, and that's how it's set up. But you're saying that it depends on who wins that game. So if Tennessee wins, they play Baltimore. If New England wins, they play Kansas City. I got you.
Exactly.
Okay.
My bad. So, and then the other one is, you know, dependent.
All right. Well, either way, that's going to be a tough second game.
Yeah, at Kansas City.
I would want Kansas City. I would actually want Kansas City.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Huh.
I mean, I don't think it matters. They're going to lose either one, and they're not going to.
No, that's a reverse jinx.
If I'm Baltimore or if I'm Kansas City, you know, I'm saying I do not. Tennessee is the one. Tennessee is the one team I don't think anybody in the AFC wants to play right now.
See, I'm looking at it. I know you just coming off this really tough loss. I'm telling you, man, like the Patriots are the most dangerous team in the AFC right now, besides those two top.
I'm telling you, they don't have it unless
they won the Super Bowl last year.
I'm telling, it's a totally different team.
The defense is still really good, man.
I will come on Gaudy Chats and apologize profusely if the Patriots win, because I really do. It's a totally different.
Be apologize. You're going to be preening like a peacock.
Unless Josh McDaniels has like 30 or 40 of those silly trick plays that he's hiding, that nobody has ever seen, that he can bust out during the playoffs. Unless he has like 30 or 40 of those, it's not happening.
They've got a
We
whole
don't
package with
have to-
Sanu.
don't
I
have to hold-
guarantee you. They got a whole trick play package with Sanu, a whole gadget play package.
I mean, honestly, ask Dan if he thinks Philly has any shot of winning going to the Super Bowl this year.
Well, he would say no, but the Patriots have a little bit better.
I feel like we're in that
resume.
same spot. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, sort of thing. I feel like we're in that spot.
Wow, you just love being the underdog. You're trying
nobody
to paint yourself
believes
as
in
the
us.
underdog.
Nobody believes in us, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't believe us.
Everybody believes.
Everybody's writing us off. I see it. Everybody's writing us. Oh, they're done.
That's why I think.
And they should.
Honestly, I think they're going
totally
to.
should.
I think they're going to beat the Titans, and I think they have a really good shot to beat the Ravens or the Chiefs. I think the Ravens are going to have.
The Ravens are so. One thing that has bugged Bill Belichick defenses more than anything else is a quarterback that can run. All right,
bugged a lot of
so many
defenses.
problems, and you get Lamar Jackson in there, like they couldn't stop Lamar Jackson. They couldn't stop Baltimore's offense because of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but they are. But
they held Lamar Jackson to like under 200 yards.
But what happens? When Belichick plays a team for the second time in the same season?
I mean,
I'm just telling you, when he loses to a team, especially the second time they play, it's so much different.
Man, I'm telling you, you're gonna
I'm just saying.
Don't sweat this year. All you Patriots haters, okay? Don't sweat this year. They're out. Okay. All right, we're done.
This is like a crazy reverse jinx.
Laugh, dude. Start yourself.
Dude, they have so much more experience than Baltimore or the Chiefs. Baltimore, Lamar's never been like. He's been in the playoffs, but he's never been like the favorite. He's going to be at home. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the Ravens. They have 2 weeks off. They're going to be it could be a little rusty. Patriots are going to come in battle tested. I'm already giving them this win over the Titans. So they won't play Baltimore next seed if that happens. But
I can't believe I'm going to do this. But do you want to bet on that game?
You're going to bet against the Ravens? I'm sorry, against the Patriots.
Don't make me do that. I am
the Titans.
I will. I think the Titans are going to win, man. The Patriots just don't have it. They look ridiculous.
All right, I'll take the Patriots. $10.
All right, I get the points.
Just roll out get out the money. Just go to the bank.
All right, $10, man. God.
No, we're going straight up. Straight up, dude.
I get that 5.5.
No, we're not doing points. It has to be straight up.
Why?
I'll take the points. That's fine. Whatever. It's fine. I think they're going to win by like over a touchdown. So I'm fine with that. 5.5.
All right. Let's do that. All right, man. I'm telling you,
you're betting against your team.
This isn't the right team, man. This team is done. I have watched this team too many times. Last year I thought they were done too. I did, but
they won the Super Bowl.
I could see it in my mind's eye.
They beat the hottest team in the NFL. They beat the hottest offense. You really think they can't beat the Titans at home?
Dude, I'm telling you, man. They don't have it. They don't have.
They beat the Rams in the Super Bowl, the team that was like destroying every other. Their offense was like on fire. One of the greatest offenses the NFL has ever seen. And he found a way to beat them with I don't even think it's arguable. I think it's pretty much established that it's a worse defense than they have this year. So I think they can scheme. I think they're gonna. I would not. I can't believe I'm more of a Patriots fan than you are now.
No.
Crazy.
No, I am the Patriots fan, but I just don't think they have it this year, man.
All right, fair enough.
Honestly, I kind of hope they do lose because I can't go through them then going to Kansas City and getting stomped. And if that happens, then I can't. It's like delaying the inevitable, and then you're going to Baltimore and getting stomped.
Has Kansas City's? But here's a question for you. And I don't mean this to be a hot take, but has Kansas City's offense looked as sharp the last 5 weeks? I feel like I know it's getting colder.
On the right track, man. I think they were. It was taking them a while to put all the pieces together earlier.
Maybe I'm too focused in on the stats. I've been looking at Mahomes' stats. They don't look as impressive in the last 4 weeks. Yeah, they've had some blowouts. They beat
I
the
mean,
Chiefs about 40-9.
earlier in the year, and you'll see that they weren't doing that good earlier in the year. They've done a good job righting the ship. God, I cannot believe I'm clicking on this, and they're numbered the 2 seed.
Yeah, I'm at the CBS postseason bracket. Chiefs number 2. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right. The highest seed. Yeah, they'll play the Chiefs if they win.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean the Chiefs. I think they're fine. The defense gets a lot of hate, but like I think they're starting to put it into high gear.
That's true about the defense. I was
Yeah,
just saying their
they're.
offense doesn't seem as locked in as it has in the past, but he's still putting
I
up
mean, they're not
pretty good
scoring
numbers.
50 a game like they were,
Yeah,
last year. But like
yeah, I'm
they're still
expecting too
playing
much.
like this isn't last year's Kansas City Chiefs. Still a really good team, and I think Mahomes is finally getting healthy. Like
Yeah,
they're not a
he
team.
hasn't looked as great though. Like the last couple weeks, 174 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and then the week before against the Bears, which they're good defense, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't know. He just hasn't been as explosive, but they might not need to be as explosive. Their running game has looked better, so their
Yeah,
defenses look great.
but
So,
I think them versus Baltimore, I think would be a great rematch.
oh,
Something I would be so pumped up to watch.
Chiefs
I mean,
Ravens.
obviously, I'd rather have the Patriots there.
I don't know if you would because you bet against them, so
No,
you actually want them
I
to.
mean,
You're actively want
yeah,
them to
I
lose.
just said that I don't want them to win because then they're going to lose. I mean, okay, I take that back. I would want them to get in the AFC
I'm gonna
Championship.
frame that $10 bill that I get from you. I'm gonna
No,
frame it.
I'd want them. I'd want them to get the AFC Championship, but oh God, I don't think they got it this year. They don't have it. And let's see. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Mahomes' stats right now. I mean, he's playing good. I mean, they're winning. They lost to Tennessee. There you go, man. It was their last loss. That's why Tennessee is one of these teams.
Yeah,
You
but like
want-
here it is. Since November 18th, here's his passing yards: 182, 175, 283, 340, 251, 174. I mean, they've been winning a lot of those. They won all those games, so it doesn't really matter. My point is that I just don't. I know he was hurt earlier in the year. He's in his thumb thing. He had his ankle and his thumb. I'm not saying he's like worse or something. I'm just saying that I'm not sure as a whole they're as explosive as they were last year, but we'll see.
Yeah.
They could definitely still be as explosive.
I mean,
We'll just
what do you think Patrick Mahomes went in the draft and like fantasy drafts this year? First
he was like
round.
$25.
Yeah, but
Or
as far as
27 bucks.
I mean, if you wanted to get
First or second
Mahomes,
round for
like
sure.
you got first, second round pick for him,
He's
and
gonna be
look
a good deal next year,
what he's
hopefully.
given you.
Yeah.
What do you think Lamar Jackson's going to do next year?
I think he's gonna be 30s, maybe even like low 40s. Honestly, I think people are gonna. We have a lot of U of L fans in our league, so they're gonna be throwing down. It's gonna be
True.
fun to watch.
I can see that. Although, but I only say that to say that like I feel like this is an outlier season for Lamar Jackson.
I kind of agree, and I think I know it's like been talked to. People have been saying this quite a bit, but I think he could get hurt. Honestly, the way he's very clever, the way he gets out of like the big hits, but he still takes some pretty big hits, and people are going
Only a
on
matter of time. Like you expose
his
yourself like
legs
that, it's
now.
only a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it's just
happens.
not sustainable. I mean, he's basically taking about what 90% of the damage that a running back would take. I mean, he can slide, he goes out of bounds a lot. I mean, but I'm a little concerned.
It's like drug. It's like being a drug dealer. Um,
And if
there's
he gets
only two
slightly
ways
hurt,
out
then his
here, buddy. You either go to jail or you die or you get shot. You either get
yeah, it's
killed
like
or
Grand
you
Theft
go to
Auto.
jail. That's what it is for Lamar. There's only two ways out. Either
And
becomes a pocket passer or he's going to get injured.
yeah, and
Those are the only ways.
if his legs get
Doing
even
what he's doing.
slightly, yeah, no, totally. And if his legs even slightly get hurt, like his value just tanks because he can't move around as well. And that's like, in his passing, yeah, he's thrown a lot of touchdowns. He's thrown a lot of touchdowns, but a lot of that's been set up by his legs, and also the way he moves around in the pocket and like rolls out and stuff. Like that's all predicated on his legs. We'll see. I could be wrong. I mean, I thought Christian McCaffrey would get hurt this year, and I was dead wrong about that. I mean, he had a
I can't believe he's done.
crazy season.
Jesus Christ.
Mike.
Yeah, but I think you know, Lamar, and I thought Christian McCaffrey was definitely going to get hurt this year. I mean, he's small, but God, I mean, what a horse. Apparently, apparently you go through your second puberty when you get drafted into the NFL. So like, you come in pretty big, you're in college football and you go in, and then like after your first year, you go through your second puberty, you just get huge and massive to play football at the pros. And I don't know what McCaffrey's taking. I'm going to assume it's legal, but he's become like a rock. The guy, look, is huge. And he runs and he runs low to the ground. He runs tough. I love him. I love Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah, I mean he's gonna go. What is he gonna go for next year?
Man, whatever the price, he's worth it.
He's gonna be like 70.
He's worth it, man. Whatever you pay for McCaffrey, I think he's worth the price because he's until he gets hurt, he's worth it. He's a lock to get you 20 points every week.
Did you know he has the most receptions in the first 3 years of his career than any other player, wide receiver or running back or tight end, besides Michael Thomas?
Dude, he is crazy good. He's such a good route runner too. I remember on the pod, me, you, and Sam were talking about him versus Alvin Kamara, and we were talking about Christian McCaffrey actually, and I said that I feel like he's a better pass catcher than Alvin Kamara, and immediately Sam came to his Alvin Kamara's defense, but I think that has borne out. This was this time beginning of the season last year that we had this conversation, and I think it's borne out that Christian McCaffrey has shown himself to be the best catcher, running back out of the backfield, pass catcher out of the backfield in the NFL.
Yeah, I think it's true. I think it's true. I mean, like, well, statistically, it's definitely true. He's by a mile. He's like, as I said, he has the most receptions, second most of anybody.
Yeah, and like, he can fake that he's going one way. Just with his eyes, he can do that, and then turn around and go back and be wide open because he's tricked the cornerback into thinking he's going one place when he's going the opposite place. Like he's just so smart. He's so smart with it.
Pretty honest. Kamara, he has 81 receptions in his first 3 years, like 81 each year. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, the way that this league is moving towards those pass catching running backs. I mean, I think it has made the whole idea of PPR redundant. Like it's made that whole idea like you need to get rid of PPR.
That's a horrible take. That's a really bad take.
It works. I think the half PPR is a good medium. So I'm not saying we need to change anything, but that's what's dominating the NFL. So like now, coming into the draft this year are going to be even better run catching backs. So we need to look at all the rosters and see which backfields are going to be changed up, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 running backs this year. I'm like, man, they're locks to be good.
Yeah, well, we know one thing. Wherever Phillip Rivers plays, that running back's going to have like 70 receptions. Because he loves checking down to the running backs.
Oh yeah, Austin Eckler, baby. Austin Eckler. I mean, solid back, man.
92 receptions this year.
Little C-Mac light, CMC light over there.
Hell of a season, man.
He really did.
92 receptions, 993 yards receiving, and 8 touchdowns. And then he had 557 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a 1,500. He had a 1,500 yard season.
Crazy.
Like, and 11 touchdowns. I want to say.
Yeah. He had 8 receiving touchdowns.
God, like out of nowhere. I'm gonna go ahead and say out of nowhere for him because he kind of usurped the starting role there, even though it was more of a split backfield. But
Gordon also held out for the first however many weeks.
Well, but I mean, that's when you know what kind of player you are, because how many other situations have happened in the past where like a starting role opens up, time to grab it, and the player doesn't grab it.
Well, they also seemed like they were better when Gordon was out. Even though the record doesn't totally reflect that, but they were. I can't remember when Gordon came back, but actually they were piling up the losses. To be fair, they were like I think they were 2-5 when Gordon came back.
No. They went on like a 3 or 4 game losing streak when Melvin Gordon came back, and like I remember a lot of Chargers fans being upset. Like, oh, Gordon, you should have just stayed out, you motherfucker. You made the team worse. Blah blah blah. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, one of the things I like to do is look back at the stats of the running backs and whatever, and the wide receivers, all that. See where everybody stacks up, and then like, okay, now we got to put in these rookie running backs that are coming in. Now we got to look where they're going to be landing, where their landing spots are, and how they fit. I mean, because like DeAndre Swift, I think is going to be the consensus number 1 running back.
I'm not familiar. Tell me about it.
Swift from Georgia. He kind of looks like an Alvin Kamara type. He's got that weight to him. He's got the
5'9", 216.
Yeah, about that I want to say that he's got that with him, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's shifty. He's a really good running back. So what if he goes to, let's see, Texans? What does that do? I think that immediately makes him, top first round draft pick in fantasy. Or Jonathan Taylor, who's like the Adrian Peterson of this group. That he just like runs. Like a freaking bowling ball through the line. Like he doesn't really catch the ball, but like he could pile up like 1,800 yard seasons like that. You could see
5'11", 214.
Oh, dude, he looks amazing in college. So,
could be interesting.
What if he goes to
philosophy major,
Seattle? Yeah. God, in Seattle, he would be incredible.
Beats Mo too.
So then you got to put those guys in, man. That's why the offseason, even though week 17 is past, guys, that does not mean you get to put down your fantasy notebook. You got to keep it open. You got to be doing now. Now's the time you got to be looking at these running backs that are coming in, these athletes, these skill players, because this draft that's coming up is going to be one of the better drafts. And again, they say that every year. I get it, but I really feel like this is because the running back class is stacked, the wide receiver class is stacked, the quarterback class was fairly stacked until Tua got hurt. So, but I mean, this is the time we need to come back around, look at these prospects, and get all googly eyed and have the drool coming down our lip.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to get you back on the pod to discuss some of these prospects because I need to
look at them, man. We have to do it because
I need to get
Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. Oh, he's like can't miss prospect for wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy, man, be on the lookout for him.
My mom's name is Judy.
And Sam wants to shout out Laviska Shenault from Colorado. He's got his in 6'2", 220, man. He's got that Julio Jones build. So we need to get Sam back on here and do a round table on some of these because he knows his his college football players too. So
do a college prep 3-way.
Absolutely, man.
Cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the pod. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it, brother. Have a good one. All right, man.
Hopefully the Pats will win this week.
Oh, God. I hope they do too. Or do I?
Dollar bill in framed over my desk. Can't wait.
All right, man. I can't wait to the game. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great, man.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh wait, I'm on Chrome. All right, there you go. Bye.
Bye bye.
Gaudy stats. Good God.